Sergio Perez defeats Carlos Sainz in the 2002 Formula One Monaco Grand Prix, with early leader Charles Leclerc finishing fourth as Red Bull outwitted Ferrari in a wet-dry event. Leclerc initially led the charge ahead of Sainz, Perez, and Verstappen, his Ferrari squirming as he applied full power for the first time down the pit straight, but staying in the right direction as the Monegasque led the field in descent to vote. Leclerc quickly pulled away from Sainz, with the two Ferrari drivers faster at different points of the track, with the leader regularly pulling a second clear through Sector 1 before Sainz stole a few tenths back in the second and third segments. By lap 15, Leclerc was a 5-second lead, with the leaders debating whether to switch to intermediates, as Pierre Gasly, Stroll, and Latifi had done before the rolling start. Sainz insisted that Ferrari's best option was to stay out and go to the slicks, but its hand was forced when Perez, who had been advocating for inners, took them at the end of lap 16. On that compound, his pace was so strong that when Ferrari brought Leclerc in on lap 18, with Verstappen doing the same and both taking inners, Perez vaulted ahead and quickly chased down Sainz. The Spaniard led up until lap 21, when Perez was only a few seconds behind despite having already stopped, and Red Bull brought Perez and Verstappen in for slicks as Sainz completed a slippery out lap. As they exited the pits on lap 23, Verstappen appeared to get very close to, if not going over, the pit lane exit line. Perez, meanwhile, had leapfrogged Sainz to take the lead, with Verstappen third and Leclerc fourth. The rest of the race went smoothly for the Mexican, with only one lockup after the red flag forced a restart and some tire management in the closing stages. Perez completed 64 laps and finished first with a 1.1 second margin, with Sainz just 3 tenths ahead of Verstappen and the top four separated by 2.9 seconds. For the Mexican driver, winning on the streets of Monaco, the sport's crown jewel, is a dream come true. It's a dream come true. As a driver, you dream of winning here. After your home race, there is no other weekend more special to win. Perez admits that it wasn't all smooth sailing on his way to the checkered flag though. The way we did it, we just made it a bit harder for ourselves there at the end. But with the tire graining I had, to not make any mistake, to bring it home, keeping Carlos behind wasn't easy. I'm very happy. Perez's triumph on the streets of Monaco has altered the landscape of the title race, with his gap to Charles Leclerc now just at 6 points. The gap has sunk dramatically in recent weeks, with Perez claiming 3 podiums in 4 races, while Leclerc has managed only 1. Verstappen remains in command, with a 9-point lead over his nearest rival, but Perez has now ended Verstappen's winning streak. However, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner has stated that the team is not yet ready to pick any favorites. We don't care which of the two wins. The Constructors' Championship is very important, whether it's Max or Checo. They both get the same opportunities. Obviously, it's a long season, and it will have its ups and downs. It's great to have both drivers up front. Meanwhile, Verstappen was able to turn fourth on the grid into a podium finish, increasing the Dutchman's lead in the championship race by 3 points. I did the best I could, of course, after yesterday. We did a really good job with the strategy to basically get ahead of the Ferraris. I think as a whole team, we can be very pleased with the Sunday. It was a very hectic one with the rain and stuff, but I think we executed it well, and I extended my points lead, which I didn't expect last night, so I think that's a positive. It was tough, especially when it's wet, and you haven't really driven around with the weather and the tires, of course. It was very slippery. It's an amazing result for Checo. I'm so happy for him. But Perez's victory in Monaco was no fluke, as the Mexican driver outperformed Verstappen in almost every session, including qualifying. His next goal will be to extend his winning streak, with the upcoming Azerbaijan Grand Prix providing a venue where he has already proven he can win, and Horner sees it as a real possibility. Perez enjoys racing in Monaco, and he has always been strong here, and that also applies to Baku, the next Grand Prix. After the race in Barcelona, we talked about the team orders in Spain, and there was absolutely no problem. He understood the situation. Checo is in a great position. He has the confidence and drives very well, and the time difference between Max and him is much smaller. Verstappen was visibly pleased for Perez, who had won his first race of the season and his first in Monaco. Perez's victory has moved him within 15 points of Verstappen in the F1 standings, putting him squarely in the title fight. The Mexican would have been even closer to Verstappen's total if he hadn't missed out on a potential victory at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix due to an untimely safety car deployment. Speaking to a select group of journalists in Monaco, Perez dismissed any notion that their working relationship would deteriorate if they were competing for the title. Nevertheless, Perez joined Red Bull at the start of last season after several years in mediocre machinery and has proven to be a better match for Verstappen than the Dutchman's previous teammates, Alex Albon and Pierre Gasly. We work really well as a team. We always try to optimize the car and work for the team, and we can accept when somebody does a good job or does a bad job. And I think that's very important because that's how you're respectful to each other. May the best man win at the end, right? We're always, of course, trying to do the best we can on the track, but we also respect each other a lot and try to score the most possible points every single weekend for the team. Last time out, however, the relationship was put to the ultimate test at the Spanish Grand Prix. While the Mexican driver was instrumental in helping Verstappen win the F1 title in 2021, he came into the season determined not to be relegated to second place. The start of the new season provided Perez with the opportunity to mount his own title challenge, with the Milton Keynes-based team having built a competitive car and promising him equal machinery to Verstappen. After moving aside to allow a faster Verstappen to pass early in the race in Barcelona, the team did not reciprocate when the situation was reversed midway through the race. With only a few laps remaining, Red Bull asked Perez not to compete for the win against his World Championship teammate, a decision he described as unfair. Perez had won just one race in 28 races as a Red Bull teammate, compared to 14 for Verstappen. But, as Horner stressed, that does not mean he has accepted the role of rear gunner. Perez has been described as a team player by both Horner and Verstappen since the checkered flag in Barcelona, but neither has described him as a number 2. Being Max Verstappen's teammate is a bit of a head screw for any driver, but I think Checo has got the maturity to deal with that at the stage he's at in his career. With the experience that he's got, he's finally got himself into a competitive car, and he wants to make the very best of that at this point in his career. He knows that he gets the same equipment, the same chance, but I think he's realistic in his expectations as well, and he's very much a team player. But regardless of the words used, Perez was not treated as an equal in Barcelona, and his Monaco performance should send a strong message to the team that he is not about to play second fiddle to his superstar teammate. Given how far off he was in 2021, Perez's performance this season has been quite impressive, and if we consider that the Mexican outperformed Verstappen in both Barcelona and Monaco, the championship momentum could well shift to the other side of the Red Bull garage. In fact, we believe that Red Bull should reconsider their options carefully if they want to keep Perez happy and thus on the team. Don't forget that Red Bull tested numerous alternatives in their search for the ideal partner for Verstappen, and given their brief stints with the team, Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon both failed, leaving Perez as the only driver with the talent and experience to challenge the Dutchman and take advantage of the fast Red Bull package. Perez appears to have passed the test, with talks about a contract extension already underway, and Horner believes the Mexican superstar is in the right place. I think with his performance to date so far, he's converged with Max. The dynamic between the two of them is very good. I think Checo is more settled in the team this year, in his second year, and of course, with the reset with a new car, he's been very much closer to the pace. Inevitably, in the next few weeks, we'll start talking about future seasons, but we're not in a desperate rush. Red Bull must consider that if they are unable to provide Perez with what he desires, namely a championship-winning car and the freedom to compete with Verstappen for the title, he may consider other options. The stage has now been set for yet another player to enter the championship battle, and it remains to be seen whether Perez can maintain his current momentum. Given Checo's improvement throughout the 2021 season and his current form, we believe the Mexican will be a force to be reckoned with for the foreseeable future. What do you think of Sergio Perez's recent form? And do you think he can maintain it? What are his long-term prospects? Could he challenge Verstappen for the title? Finally, do you see him leaving the team if Red Bull continues to make calls like they did in Barcelona? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below.